Welcome back to Walking Atlanta. I am your host, November, and I am here with the athlete turned artist, Jah the Poet.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, how long have you been in Atlanta?
Well, I've been here majority of my life. We're originally from New York, but we moved here, so I, graduated from high school here and things of that nature. I went to Campbell.
Campbell, okay. Well,
Yeah.
what part of New York?
My mom is from Long Island. My dad is from the Bronx, but to be honest, I would claim Suffolk County because that's where the majority of my family is
Suffolk County?
Suffolk.
Suffolk
Yes.
County. Okay, dope. So, what age did you move here?
I've been here. We go back and forth. I'll just say that. A lot of travel. I need to go back, but I honestly am a nomad, is what I would call myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just came back here from Oklahoma. Before that, I was in Missouri. Before that, I was in Atlanta
Okay.
again. Before that, I was traveling back and forth. I kind of just go with the flow, but Atlanta I would say is like home base.
Okay. Dope. What's your traveling for?
Music. I played in a celebrity basketball game. I had went on like a self-funded tour with the group I was in, and I was going from like Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and let's see where else. I think that's about it. But yeah, so really for music is what my travel is for.
That's nice. That's dope. So, how often are you traveling? Like,
Well, right now I plan on to start traveling a lot again. I actually just started picking up on my music again. I got a couple shows here coming up, and then I plan on doing some things out west towards like Oregon, Las Vegas, things of that nature.
Okay. So let's dial it back a little bit. So you were coming here as a kid. You went to middle school, high school here?
Yes, I
How
went to
was
Campbell
that?
Middle School, Campbell High School. Oh, I loved it. I played sports, so I played basketball. I was basketball and football, so I was very in tune, but basketball was more so my homesick. I was a 4-year varsity starter at Campbell as a freshman, the only freshman. And
Nice.
then I got a full ride scholarship, and like I said, I went to Missouri to play basketball. And then I figured out there that there was something different that I wanted to do, and then I came back here and started pursuing music.
What was your first interaction with that thing that made you realize you wanted to change up?
I would call it a divine intervention. I'm very spiritual. I say that God and the universe kind of just came to me. Nothing felt right. Like basketball always filled the void of, like feeling like I was successful, but it felt like it wasn't enough. And I'm sitting here with a full ride scholarship sponsored by Jordan and Nike, got an apartment, I'm living the life of a basketball star, traveling and all, but yet I felt like there was more that I wanted. So then I just started to do some self-introspection, like actually sat down instead of moving so fast paced like normal, practice, travel, workouts. And I always had a thing for poetry. And I always had a thing for wanting to help people. So the two just kind of came together.
And you felt like as you did it's poetry or music, or was it
My
poetry first, right?
Yeah, I was a poet first, and then I realized that like I did spoken word, no beats, no nothing, like you might have like a piano or a guitar playing in the background. I did that at first on YouTube, but then I figured out that music reached people more and I would be better off taking it that way. So I started off as a ghostwriter, but I couldn't really get anybody to say my words. They wanted me to dumb down my lyricism because I include spirituality, philosophy. I speak different languages. I speak about healing, enlightenment, and alignment. And they wanted me to talk about, well, you hear what music's about these days, it's the majority.
Yeah. And
I refused to do so. So that kind of forced me into the spotlight myself. Like I had to speak my own words, which more so makes sense. So
when you were creating these songs, what was there like guided intention for the songs?
Yes.
Or was it like
they were like, so the entire purpose for my music is for people to never feel alone. I wrote all of these songs when I was going through, self-healing and, facing demons and, finding yourself, a lot of things that people go through, anxiety, things like that daily, but all by myself. My way of coping was writing my music. And then when I started to release it, I started to get a lot of feedback how it helped other people get through what they were going to. Then I figured out that I was a healer because I got more spiritually in tune, and I figured by people being around me, a lot of people started to let me know that basically I always make them feel better. Everybody comes to vent to me. I'm always that shoulder to cry. I'm the Dr. Phil, even from afar. So then I started to get more into my spirituality and figured out that I was a healer and that I'm supposed to use my music as a tool to do so, to help others.
What was that like the first time somebody reached out to
It
you to
was
say, hey?
so beautiful. it was so beautiful for somebody to come to me because I'm also chronically ill. I have a disability. That's what stopped me from playing ball. I have fibromyalgia. So I'm out here playing basketball, and then one day they just find me face down in the grass outside my apartment, not breathing. And then from there, my whole life changed. That's what made me sit down and realize that I couldn't play basketball anymore because it will kill me. What else am I supposed to do with my life? Had no choice but to sit down. That's why I said divine intervention. So now I'm sitting here like I've been playing ball since I was 3-4 years old. This has been my life, playing my whole life. Now what?
So how does that work? Does it just exhaust you until you?
What exhausts me?
When you play basketball?
No, well, my illness, fibromyalgia, is it's a nerve disorder. So basically, every nerve, bone, joint from head to toe, from you sitting right there, you would be in excruciating pain as we speak.
That's all the time.
That's my life, 24/7.
Oh wow!
But I'm built for it. I have the strength for it. It's mental toughness. I was a basketball player. I was a college athlete. They taught us nothing but mental toughness. So, I meditate a lot. I talk to God a lot. I do yoga, control my diet. I don't take any medication. I don't go to doctors. They don't really have anything for it. So it's more so a me thing. But that's also a big part of my music as well. I speak about it. And a lot of people who are chronically ill and have, disabilities and stuff have come to me as well, telling me that my music helps them. Like, do I look sick to you? No, I look like the cool kid. So they like, oh, you make me feel like, because they might more so, might not look like me. You might look at them and be able to tell, but they can't look at me. So they see me as a sign of hope. And I love being that for people. That's
nice. That's nice. Let's dial it back. Let's get your entire story though.
Okay.
So when you were first playing basketball, how did you get into like the college level? You graduated from here?
Yeah, I graduated from Campbell High School in 2015. My college basketball coach, he's still coaching there. I think he has a building named after him now, Coach McClure. He's a very...
Shout out to Coach.
Oh, love Coach McClure. Shout out to him. Shout out to my coach Russell as well, because he was always with me shooting in the gym. He's more so like a father figure, another father figure, because I have one, of course, who plays a great role. But those two were the people who, when I was a freshman or coming up as an 8th grader, they saw the potential in me. It's like, she might be able to play at a greater level. So then as an 8th grader, they started putting me, involved with the varsity over the summer. And then as a freshman, I came in, and by my birthday, ironically enough, which is on Christmas, I was starting. And I was starting since, and my coach went to war for me, along with my mother, making sure that I was seen enough.
Mom's gonna show
up.
Oh,
my. Nobody's going harder than a tourist from New York for their child that they love. She literally went to every meeting with me. She was there when I signed my contract. She made sure I got my scholarship, and drove me out there and all, moved me in.
Nice. So like the transition from going to college, how did you see your life change in that way?
Well, I was always very independent, so that was more so just my dreams coming true. Like, that's what I had been praying, hoping for. That was the goal since I was 4, to get the full ride, get school paid for it, because it was a academic. I had a 3.9 GPA, so it was an academic and a basketball scholarship. And, that was pretty much as good as it could get for me to go to school and have someone else pay for it, to have a place to stay, and all I get to do is chase my dream, because I wanted to go play overseas and things of that nature, go pro, but we all know there's more money overseas. But yeah, go pro and things of that nature.
I got a homie that
that's what I'm like. Of course,
overseas,
we get the gold in America. We're on TV. We look the best, but overseas is where the money is.
They're shelling it out.
Right. So that's what I wanted to do with it. But as I said, then the illness came into effect and I couldn't play, and I had to basically start from ground zero because I had no plan B. My plan A was working, so I had to start from ground zero, and that was in 2015.
So, well, I want to say that you sound like an amazing person. I can tell, like, with people who are successful, they kind of have a track record of being successful in various areas of their life.
Oh yeah, I was that student that all the teachers loved. I could have graduated like a year or so early, but since I played basketball, I wanted to have my senior year, so I took a whole bunch of, BS classes, just to have a little part-time schedule so that I can still play. Because if I was the one freshman, I was gonna have my senior year, as big dog.
Yeah.
When I got, I played, when I was a freshman, we had like 18 seniors, and none of them liked me because I took all their playing time. I'm 14, they're like 18 years old. This little kid came in, I'm riding the bench.
Killing it, huh?
I'm riding the bench now, who is she? Like, she's not even old enough to go out with us. You know what I mean? Like, but hey, they had to respect my pimping because if you go and type in my name right now on Google, you'll see old newspaper articles and things of that nature pop up as far as grades in basketball.
I was trying. Okay.
You were searching the wrong name. I'm
searching the wrong name. I was trying to find.
Hey man, I'm a ghost.
Because I was like, I know if she played, I know she's on something.
Oh, I'm on everything. You just gotta know what to search. I want to keep
it low key. She kept that government. Okay, I was looking.
Because I'm like, everybody already knows me for basketball. I want them to know me for my music, what I stand for, and my healing abilities and my spirituality. You know, separately. They can come, you know, if they support both, that's great. But I just wanted to be separate because the way I see it, that's a whole past lifetime.
Maybe this experience with us might change your mind, because our goal is to connect people with the entire story of a person.
Right.
What people see nowadays, they see somebody pop up and they're just successful, but they don't see the backstory. They don't see the training you went through with basketball that gave you the endurance to overcome.
A lot of these things, right?
So it's a certain, like, people are prepared. I believe that people are prepared for the mantle that they will be on, and if they're not prepared, then when they get the success, they end up falling.
Right, they won't know how to handle it.
Yeah, the very successful people that we know, they have had these different areas of life that they have been successful in, and they learn to persevere.
Exactly.
Which I hear from your story.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely the one that's built for pressure. I was always taking the game-winning shots or anything of that nature. If there's any type of pressure in a situation, like I used to be on the debate team, I'd be the one that's answering the last question. I always loved the pressure. If it's gonna have to be in that moment, I trust myself more so, and I've always been surrounded by people who did as well. So
yeah, that's dope. So did you discover that you could write poetry before the illness happened? Or was it like during you playing basketball?
No, I've been writing poetry since I was a kid. That was always just a small hobby. I went to a camp when I was younger called C5. It's sponsored by Coca-Cola. It's a leadership foundation. And they would go through and select people from like 6th grade, do like a college interview process. You know, you write a paper. And I would go there every summer. It's like Boy Scouts. You can't have any electronics, no technology. You know, you're in the mountains away from your parents for like a month or so. And you do everything a Boy Scout would. Horseback riding, hiking, camping, things of that nature. One day, they put us in a group where you could like either cook or you could, you know, do poetry. You could select what your activity was for the day. And I had done everything else. So this time I decided to do, they call it spoken word. I went out there and one of my favorite counselors was in charge, and she kind of just was like giving me the gist of it. And I was like, well, I don't know how to do this. You know, I'm like 10 or 11 and she kind of taught me. And it was just up from there. Like, once she taught me the structure of self-expression, I'd be in my cabin just writing. I remember being at school just writing. But come to find out, my dad's a rapper. You know what I mean? He rapped all the time. I found out my grandmother was a phenomenal poet, and they tell me I write like her all the time. So it seems like it was always in my genes. I was just more so focused on sports. Because that's going to get you the school, that's going to get you the money, that's going to get you the, I'm thinking of the flashing lights as a kid. I want the car, I want all of this. So that's what I was thinking. But then it became like a small hobby that I kind of put on the back burner. That's crazy that now that's turned into my career.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that sounds like God definitely had a plan. It started building way back then, like the seeds were planted, and then over time they got watered.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I first did my first poem, I think I was in middle school. I'm a poet as well, but I first did my poem in middle school, and I wrote like maybe here and there, nothing serious, but I had an incident where my father passed, and it was
Sorry.
It's okay, it was quite some time ago, but when that happened, I was asked to write something. And it was like a moment where I realized, I did write poetry. Maybe I'll write something. But in the process of writing that poem, it came out so good. I was like, I'm just gonna post it on like Facebook or whatever. This is a while ago. I'm dating myself right now.
No, but that's the best way. Just post it.
But so I posted on Facebook, and people went kind of crazy. Like, this is extremely deep. Like,
you weren't expecting that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a reaction from people. I'm like, this is just something I wrote, But it had people crying and stuff, but it was like a moment where you realize that you might have like a
hidden talent that you didn't think.
What was the first poem that you wrote and you was like, or people was like, had to step back and look at what you wrote?
I think it was kind of similar. I used to kind of just send my poems to I had a couple close friends at the time. I was really afraid. Like, I would send it to them and tell them to go read it in the other room.
Because it's so personal. It's like the most personal thing.
I would be like, don't even. But I had this one friend to this day. I love her. That she's more so like my sister. Her name's Kobe. She would literally sit next to me and read it out loud, and I would cringe the entire time.
That's super cringe.
But she's also the same person that came to me and just, always told me to keep writing, always told me to keep going. So it was more so like she told me to kind of post it too, like you did. I remember being in Campbell Middle's library, being on like a little Reddit page, or one of those little websites where you can just post whatever, make a free account, and post it, and actually getting people anonymously.
You're right.
Anonymously, because I was scared. But then getting so many reactions from a whole bunch of strangers that I do not know. And it just made me feel like I was living some secret double life, but it was cool. So then from there, we had a project come up in like a language arts class, and they asked us to, you can write a paper, a poem, however you want to express yourself. And I got up there and I read it, and I got a big roar from my class, from my teacher. And that was in like 9th grade. And I think from there, I was like, okay, even if I'm scared, I need to get up there and do it. Because even if I don't like it, because I'm perfectionist. Half the time, I won't even like my own song, and that'll be the one that gets 10K plays. Everybody else likes it. It's just, we're always our worst critics. We know where we came from. We know we might have something better than this in the vault. So, at the time, but we still have to understand there's a process, and people will still understand, like you said, where you came from, even if that is from the art, where you started, even if it's here to here.
Yeah.
People like to see the growth in the process, and that's personality-wise in music, in poetry, and I learned that around the same time when I was like, I'd say like 6th grade, 7th grade.
What was the name of the poem? Do you remember?
I want to say it was F Cupid. I think I had got my heart broken. F Cupid. I'm not gonna say the F word, but I'm pretty sure. But even at the time, I don't think I put the cuss word on there. I'm pretty sure I put the little stars because I was publicizing it. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure I took that same poem and turned it into a song that I have released now called Reasons Why. I just kind of revamped it and made it.
It's a plug. Reasons Why.
Really, Reasons Why out now on my SoundCloud. That's why I'm like, no. But I think that's where it is. That's how I figured out my self-expression was more so from emotional. Every time I got upset, and every time I got my feelings hurt, I pretty much wrote a masterpiece.
Yeah, you just get that moment. I used to get on the computer and I just be like,
yeah,
I'm really typing like this fast. I'm
like
it's just coming
mad.
out of me. Yeah.
You don't never type that fast unless you're upset, I swear.
Yeah. No, facts. So, in the process of you playing basketball, you already had this, but this was just like something on the back burner.
Yeah, this is just a hobby. I was not taking it seriously whatsoever. I was focused on getting a scholarship.
So you playing ball and you get into college, and how was it playing basketball in college for the brief time that you did?
It is a business, is what I'll say. It's more so a business. When I got to college and I started playing, they made me realize that I didn't want to play anymore. They made me realize that the passion had left the sport and it was a business. And I hated that. And that's probably also what was supposed to happen for me to realize that wasn't the path that I was on anymore. I had outgrown it. That path was there to keep me out of trouble when I was younger, because there was always some drama, some fights going on. It was supposed to keep me straight and narrow, keep me focused. You know what I mean? Give me the discipline, like you said, the mental toughness, and, the variety and things of that nature that I learned. But after a while, I outgrew that path, and it didn't feel aligned. It didn't feel fulfilling no more. I wasn't happy. It felt like a job.
It seemed like basketball was something that you loved.
It was.
So I wanted to check out to see where was that point that
right in college
became something different.
Right in college, I'd say right before I got injured. Like, I literally when my illness kicked in, injured. That happened like afterwards. I was already there, feeling kind of lost, feeling kind of, why am I here? And then boom, that happened.
You had reached a point to where you were stressing, probably.
Oh no, I was more than stressing. Like, and I have no family, no friends or anything out there, so I wasn't happy out there very much.
So were you at a game when this happened? Was this after a game? Like
when it happened?
When it first happened?
Oh, no. I was, I believe we were having 2-a-days, and I was leaving practice, and I was literally just walking home from practice, and then I was on the phone with one of my friends, and she actually is in school to be a doctor. I was telling her what was going on, and she was telling me to call 911 because the way I was feeling was weird.
What was it? What were you feeling?
I was feeling like I was about to like pass out, fall out, and that was weird with me being an athlete. I ate a lot, stayed hydrated, so she was like,
so it was very strange.
It was very strange. Yeah, she was like, you're very healthy. You know, you barely get sick. What's going on? So as she said that, I dialed 911, but I never got a chance to speak. I don't remember nothing else after that. After that, I wake up in an ambulance and they're waking me up. But I guess I called them, dialed, and they were able to track my phone, and then they picked
How was it waking up?
It was, of course, frightening. You're in there.
You're scared? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, what's going on? I was going home. But I just didn't want them to call my coach.
I understand.
I just didn't want them to call my coach. I just wanted to continue my lifestyle of what I was doing, which was the basketball, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But obviously, now that I think about it and look back in hindsight, that was divine intervention. God was letting me know that obviously something in my body couldn't handle, the lifestyle that I was doing anymore, which was basketball at a very high level. And there might be other things that I was meant to do. And I was kind of forced to see that.
Yeah, so once you got the news,
which was a long time after the fact, I never really got the news. Like, they never diagnosed me or anything. I kind of just had to make the decision to go home.
So after that, so you you flew back home and you just.
Well, my father came and got me because they wouldn't give me a straight answer, doctors or anything like that. They couldn't really figure out or pinpoint what the problem was. So they kept clearing me to play, but then I kept having episodes. Things kept happening. I'm not healthy. So after a while, I just took a break. I told my dad I think I should just come home, and he let me finish the semester. I turned in my finals, things of that nature, and then we moved out my apartment. And I came here
back to Atlanta.
Yeah, January 2016.
Oh.
So I wasn't there long. I got there, the end of the school year of 2015, so I'd say August. I went out there, you graduate and stuff.
Yeah.
Went out there, and then I came back the beginning of New Year because my birthday's on Christmas, and I know that I was here for my
mom's birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's a Capricorn twin.
Capricorn, yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. I've never met anybody else with the same birthday.
Yeah,
so
her birthday's on the 25th. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, tell her she's awesome.
Yeah, we do. We tell her.
Tell her she's awesome.
we
You
let her
are
know.
awesome. I definitely appreciate you for being a Capricorn born on the same day.
Yeah, very giving, very loving people, I can say, honestly.
I love that she's that way too.
Yeah. So during this whole ordeal, you come home. When do you write your first poem?
Immediately. I remember that because I came back and I had so much to say, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. I felt overwhelmed, like a disappointment, because I felt like I was supposed to be there making my family proud, so I had to express myself some way. I didn't know how to process being back home. You know what I mean? It was
when you were just.
It was I
goal.
did it. What happened?
Yeah.
I've been saying I was gonna do this since I was 4. What happened? I didn't understand. So I really had to sit down and talk to God. And then I think I learned how to meditate. And then from there, I started to do introspection. And I was like, well, I can't have these words trapped in my head. So then I started to do the poetry more so because I didn't have any friends to talk to. I had to get the words out somehow.
One thing I did when I started writing poetry, really writing, I decided to start going to open mics, and then I started getting into battling, or not battling, but poetry slams.
Poetry slam. I'm about to say poetry slams.
Yeah, and you got the debate background as well, so I'm sure you was ready for something like that.
Oh,
Did you do that?
I actually haven't. No, I never got the chance to. Once I started actually picking it up, I moved more so into the rap scene, and then after that,
moved to music immediately.
Yeah, I moved to music immediately because I felt like I wasn't getting enough of a reaction, and I felt like it was because it was in the spoken word lane. So then when I switched and I started doing more of the music because that was what I was surrounded with, then I started seeing the results that I was wanting. So that's still my background. I still want to go to the Apache Cafe. I seen they have open mic or something coming up. I want to go. I want to go do, but I hated it, but I had to because I always thought beats were chains. I always think that the music is a chain on the flow. It bothered me. I had to literally force myself to switch over, but it was you want to be heard, right? You don't want there to be any reason why people won't listen to you. You don't want to be limited. Even if that's just for spoken word, because I literally still go places and I can perform with no beat and do, my poems and normal, but it's just it has to be a different crowd, and I wanted to be able to access both of them and not be limited to one. If you see what I'm saying, like I didn't want to just be like, oh well, you might not like my music because it's not music, it's just poetry, you know, just spoken word. You know, that might not appeal to some people in my generation, in our generation especially. Yeah. So I was like, it's
probably your generation. I ain't gonna lie. I'm alone. It's different generations. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm like, I don't know. That's why I said that. I was like, I'm not sure. We haven't spoken age, but yeah.
Yeah, that was different generations, but it's all good. I think that true talent, true message
speaks through anything.
Reach. It pushes through. It reaches. But I had that realization as well that you had to like kind of make some music to really like reach a larger crowd. And I think my first exposure to that was a group of guys who I looked up to in the music scene or in the poetry scene in Detroit. And they were they called themselves Cold Man Young or something like that. It was a little corny now. I look back, but it was dope though because I saw them as spoken word artists go to do music, and it was like mind blowing for me. Like, oh, I can do that.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So, how was the transition like when you started writing music? I know that when trying to fit a bar,
a
poetry bar into a bar is the craziest thing.
It's like you have to deconstruct the whole thing.
Yeah.
At first it was hard. It's like water now. It flows like water now, but it used to be so hard. Like I would go to my uncle because my uncle, he would help me. We would sit there and I would tell him the whole thing of what I'm trying to say. He'd be like, that's too many words. That's not gonna fit. So you have to shorten this. And he kind of just taught me how to paraphrase a little bit because he couldn't do it for me. And then I would just learn how to shorten it and figure out with the beat and stuff like that. Like it started to, I don't know, it was hard, but it started to flow easierly like as time went. Like there's really no way about it. You gotta find your own system.
You're so descriptive. Like,
and
the whole scene and everything, but you gotta like get this bar in there.
It makes it so hard. It's a blessing and a curse, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But also what it really does is it just helps me make my sentences not sound repetitive or like anybody else's, because the way that I word it, you're not going to. And if I have to change that slightly to make it fit, it's like it's just gonna sound more unique because it's gonna make you have to think about it more. So it's like it's like summarizing. That's why I'm like, it's different. I've never had a problem with it.
Could you call yourself
the female J. Cole?
Right? Yeah.
I didn't. What's crazy is I don't call myself that. That was given to me when I was on my tour.
I was about to say, a lot of times
that name was. I never called myself that. That's crazy. The only thing I actually called myself is the sick kid because I'm chronically ill.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's the only name I've given myself. That name was given to me when I was going on tour and I was being interviewed by Big Yogi in Texas on his radio station. I can't remember the exact number, but that name was given to me when I was out there signing autographs and performing. The people gave me that name based off of the lyricism. You know, they try to be funny. Oh, you gotta think when you listen to J. Cole and all of that, you know, because the lyricism, they say, you know, that's how they were trying to say with me, even though I have different sounds and things of that nature, but I always took it as a compliment, meaning that I was lyrical. I mean, I'm still being compared to a great, so.
Yeah. It's all flattery. It's all
that's all I'm like, it's all flattery, it's all great promotion. I had no problem with that.
Most definitely. So, throughout this process, you're still dealing with the fibromyalgia.
Oh, always.
Did I say it right? Fibromyalgia?
Yeah, fibromyalgia.
Yeah, so you're dealing with that and you noticing that this music is like helping people. How did the music help you?
That's the thing, just doing it, making it. That's what helps me. The simple self-expression itself, like getting it out, not having to hold those feelings in and feel alone, because I don't know nobody else with fibromyalgia. I don't know nobody else who's really chronically ill in my like day-to-day life. Not too many people who I can empathize with. So me making it, it's like I can make it, I can hear it, I can listen to it. Like I still have songs that aren't even out yet that I recorded in literal hospital beds that I haven't recorded yet, but when I'm having my most painful days, I can listen to them and they make me feel better, make me feel not alone, make me, you know what I mean? It's just kind of nice to hear it in a different light versus like, oh, I'm not even there anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel as weak as I did then. I don't feel as alone as I did then. And I can also see the growth in myself. So it's like, I'm getting the perspective of a listener listening to it.
Yeah, because you made it for people.
Exactly. So it's like I'm getting the double benefit. Saying it itself, getting it out, you know, when people write letters and they burn them or they type in their notes, it's like, I'm my own therapist. So it's therapy to myself, but then it's also helpful when I go back and listen and know that it's helping me and others as well. So it's like a double whammy.
So is there a place where people that have fibromyalgia might go maybe for treatment or for care, or like you might be able to interact with them in a group setting?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure there's a specific specialist that we all go to for rheumatoid arthritis. So maybe I never thought about it, but maybe if I did go there and kind of, you know, but as I was there sitting in the waiting room, kind of see if I can make some
Let
friends.
them know, hey, I made this.
All right, I make
us.
music for people like us, you know, about what we're dealing with. Literally, like I literally have a song called Pain Dior. It's about my pain and how I wear it like Dior, like a clothing brand, instead of wearing it like a bad thing, like a disability, like I look at it as a problem. Instead, I look at it as a way to show how strong I am. Because a lot of people can't deal with what I deal with daily, still walking around the way I am, doing what I'm doing. Just imagine I have a whole full-blown job. I'm not even supposed to work, and I have one of the hardest jobs in my restaurant to work, you know, that has like the highest workload. Do I use it as an excuse? No. I use it as fuel for the fire.
How do you use what you've been through as far as like your training and everything to get through day to day and to still even put that type of energy or dedication into making music?
My coach is like Coach Carter. I'll tell you, boy, he instilled some very strong mental toughness into us. It's like, it's no matter what's going on, you need to be able to think clearly. You need to be able to process. You need to be able to block out the pain. The pain does not define you. You are in control. So it's really all mental. Like that's literally all I can tell you. Because if I feel like I'm having a bad mental day, which is rare, that'll be the only day I really notice my pain. And that'll be like, I know it's there, but it's on the back burner. It doesn't define me, my mood, my day, anything of the sort. Because you see the weather right now, that causes me pain. I wouldn't even be here right now if I let it define me. I'd be at home in my bed, telling you I can't make it.
So humidity affects
Humidity, exactly. The barometric pressure, rain, heat. It's like my kryptonite. That's how I see myself. Like a superhero, and this is my kryptonite. But did Superman never stop?
That's a dope look. That's a dope
Did Superman never stop? The way I really see it is if you watch anime, I'm really big on anime. You remember in Dragon Ball Z where Goku was training up there with that one dude on that other planet, and he had all that weighted stuff on him?
Yeah.
That's me. That's my life 24/7.
Was that Mr. Popo? Supreme Kai.
Exactly. So I feel like I look at it as I'm going through training. I'm going through training. And with me being a past life athlete, you know, and I was addicted with working out. I was addicted with being the best. So it's really not that hard for me to see this as training and to push through days like today where I might be in pain and I have something to do. That's more important because it's not going to define me.
When you work out, or do you have any like workouts and stuff that you do?
I am probably going to get back into doing kickboxing. So I'll be doing my kickboxing workout. I want to go back to, I used to do UFC, like UFC training anyway.
So you basketball and UFC?
Yeah, I like kickboxing. I like to fight. It's fun. I don't know. It's a great full body workout. I've always wanted to box, but I also like kicking and submission. So that's what made me want to, I think it was like 2018 after I got back, I think I started doing kickboxing.
So
I was like, I gotta do something physical. I like physicals. I'm an athlete. Like, you know, maybe I couldn't do, you know, full blown basketball anymore, but, you know, short, small fights.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can somebody that has fibromyalgia, can they fight? And
I think it's all about the person, like just how it is for anybody. I think it's really just what they can handle, because to be honest, I can still do whatever I want. Like I said, I played in a celebrity basketball game in Kansas, and I was the only girl, and I was giving them that work. Like they were looking like, we thought you were sick. And I was like, yeah, I thought I was too. I guess I done figured out how to, the athlete's still in there still. Of course,
y'all right quick.
Really though, it's, you know, I mean, I'm not all the way still, you know, I'm not in shape like I was, but it doesn't seem like it's as limiting as I thought it was before. That's what I think it's all mental.
Yeah, it seems like, to look from the outside looking in, it seems like you kind of trained your way out of it almost.
Yeah, like I think that's what it was. It's like I refuse for y'all to put this label on me. I might not be able to play at the collegiate level anymore, but I refuse to be someone that just, y'all not gonna just look at me and tell me that I have a disability and I can't do anything. You know, I don't know. I think that kind of like pissed off the rebel in me. I took it as competition. I took it as a competition. Like, oh really? Word? All right, bet. Watch this.
Nice. Yeah. So do you reach out, or do you mentor any other people that might be going through fibromyalgia?
I wouldn't say I mentor them. A lot of people, I think I've had maybe like 1 or 2 people come to me and ask me like, how do you deal with your pain?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You know what I mean? But a lot of them, they just more so it's like, oh, thanks for speaking up and creating awareness and doing what you're doing. You're giving me hope. But a lot of people, they all have their own ways of dealing. There's pages that I follow where we might like, oh, I try this, I try this, I try that, but. What I do might not work for them, and what they do might not work for me. They might be on that medication the doctor gives them and it works for them perfectly fine. And then there's me where I take it and it does absolutely nothing for me. So I'd rather go drink some herbs, some tea or something like that lowers inflammation instead of taking this pill that they gave me with all these other side effects.
That's dope.
I don't like pills, so, but I'm more of a herbalist when it comes to those things, natural, holistic healing more so.
I agree with that. I love herbs.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, that's why a lot of people won't come to me because they're still dealing with the doctors. I haven't been to a doctor for my fibromyalgia and can't even tell you the last time I went. Probably when they diagnosed me, because then after that they told me they couldn't do anything. So I'm like, why am I coming back?
Well, are there any herbs that you use on a daily basis? Make teas or?
I use dandelion, burdock, lavender, chamomile, and rose petals. I'd say those are the ones that I can think off the top of my head.
Use them together and make like a tea or something?
Oh no, I might do like I might do like 3 different teas a day, like, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, and just switch it up. I might pair a couple of them together, but you don't want to pair too many, make your stomach hurt doing all that. There's a couple ones that you can pair, and then some of them you actually don't want to pair them together because it like cancels out their abilities. So it'd be like purpose. Yeah, exactly. Do your research. Basically, just do your research.
I got into, when I first started really getting into all these different herbs, I definitely got burdock, and I took way too much of it and dehydrated myself. It was ridiculous. It was
That's
crazy.
what you don't want to do.
My girlfriend at the time came over my house. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I dehydrated myself." I was in there like still in the bed. She's like, "Why are you still in the bed?" I was like, I dehydrated myself. I'm feeling crazy right now.
Like I need to just lay.
You gotta be careful, but definitely, that's dope. That's dope that you do that, though. I think more people should be more interested in the herbs that
most
from
definitely
the earth to heal us and take care of us in that way.
In the long run, it's definitely better than taking a whole bunch of pills, in my opinion. There's no side effects. Also, sometimes those don't help, and you don't want to just be taking them for no reason. That's what my issue was. I was just taking them, and I was like, okay, they aren't doing anything, but I feel like they were making me lose weight, throwing off my sleep, and make my appetite weird, and that was pretty much all it did. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm gonna do some research, and I started doing that more so. Plus, some of my family members are Asian, so they were letting me know that there were other ways to heal, versus like different medicines and over there things of nature, like acupuncture, things of that nature. I haven't tried it yet, but I heard that's something that helps with fibromyalgia.
Oh wow!
That's why I haven't tried it yet, but I heard that's something that helps with fibromyalgia. I don't know how I feel about that. But
a lot of needles,
I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, no, I think I'll just stick to my herbs and my yoga and my meditation for now.
Dope. So moving forward, how are you directing your music as far as like intentionally? What direction?
I'm still focusing right now. I really like the last song that I dropped, Tony Hawk, is more so a spiritual healing, like relatable song. Like, for instance, everybody's gone through tough moments where they feel like they may not know exactly what direction they're going in or things aren't going right, but hey, the bad is temporary. It's helping me prepare for something else. It's a cycle, and the cycle still has to go back up, even though if I'm right here at the bottom. It's basically just like a don't give up kind of a song. And when I wrote it, I was going through a bad time, and it was things that I would want to hear, as far as motivational wise. And when I go back and listen to it now, I'm just like, oh wow, this is actually something that I've listened to on a hard day. So that's pretty much where I want to go on my music. I want to make things that people can relate to, that people will wake up and want to put on, music that's gonna motivate people, that's gonna enlighten people, that's gonna make them want to normalize something that's different from what everybody else is normalizing these days.
Something uplifting.
Exactly. Something uplifting, something, it doesn't even have to be, it's not all God. I don't make gospel music. There's a difference between, spirituality and religion. I'm spiritual, not, I love God as well, but it's more so about self-introspection, self-healing, self-loving. Exactly, frequency. What frequency you're on, raising your frequency. And that's the main thing. I want to help raise people's frequencies going forward into the new earth, because if y'all are spiritual and you're aligned, you know that going forward, the alignment and the frequency of the earth is raising, and a lot of people are either going to awaken or get left behind. And with me being a mirror, I'm here to awaken people. Like, my name literally means royalty, light, songbird. I'm supposed to bring people light through my music. I'm a healer.
What's your name?
Jah the Poet.
That's what Jah the Poet means?
No, you want to know my full government name.
Tried to get it right there.
And what's your name? What you is a fanboy? Stop playing with me.
I tried to bladder.
I'm that
quick.
anime character that's like super mysterious that does not give it away. I promise you. You're lucky I didn't bring my sword.
I tried to bladder right quick. It ain't
I was
work.
like, wait, why do I feel like an alley-oop to a don't answer that? That's I'm like, nah, I don't know who's watching. I'm like, with the stuff that I'm saying, they definitely can't have my government name. They're gonna be trying to get me.
You got it. She kept it under lock and key.
Yeah, keep it P. I'm here to lead the revolution. I gotta be alive to do that.
I feel it.
Man, but no, that's what it is. I want to heal people. I want people to never feel alone, because when I was going through all the things I went through, I was alone. Music was all I had, and there were certain artists like XXX. That's what this tattoo is. Even though it's inspired by him, but I kind of put my own spin on it, and then broke it into an acronym of something that it means something for me. But at the same time, his music and everything that he came out with me being diagnosed and what I was going through, fighting depression, anxiety, I was not making music or writing poems like that. I was more so afraid to be that vulnerable. I don't want people looking at me like, I'm talking about all this sad stuff in this song. I don't want them to pity me and look at me like I want pity because, I'm chronically ill, things of that nature. But then when I listened to X's music, I was like, well, he's being vulnerable, but he's not coming off weak. He's embracing his feelings.
His strength and
exactly.
vulnerability. Yeah.
He changed my entire perspective on it, and that right there is where I was like, well, I can take this, spin this, and I didn't realize I could help people. I was more so just trying to help myself get out of this darkness, and then at the same time, I found
that's where it starts, I think.
Like the light in that. So
that's where it starts, I think. Trying to help yourself.
No, really. So it turned into a benefit for
people.
both, but it was more so for me. But I'm happy now that it helps others as well, because that's what I got from listening to his music. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, I would love to return the favor. Help somebody, help me help somebody, and help myself.
Healing music. Yeah.
Exactly, healing music, frequency, raising awareness about it. So people, because some people know, but they don't really know. They think it's a trend, and it's, on TikTok, everybody wants to be spiritual and stuff, but it's like they don't realize that.
Some people, because I dive deep into people. So
Okay.
Some people, it is a trend.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like they feel like they being like very deep. But it'd be so surface. I'd be like,
so shallow.
yeah, like, God, you skateboarding on top of you haven't even touched the water, bro.
Your surface level. It's like they don't understand the actual work that goes into being spiritual. They just like the idea of it, like a kid that has a bowl of ice cream that they're not gonna finish.
Yeah.
And literally, so that's kind of where it's different. But at the same time, even if it is somebody like that, I feel like if they listen and they actually listen, I might be able to activate something in them to cause enough curiosity to let's go actually learn these things and figure it out, instead of being the cat that just posts about it on social media for a repost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A reposter.
Right.
Be a reposter.
Right, because then when you get the repost and somebody wants to hold a conversation about it, what are you actually going to say?
Absolutely.
Nothing. Right? But I guess it doesn't get that far.
I mean, sometimes I've had conversations.
That's what I'm like. With some people, it doesn't get that far. That's literally, people call me the crazy conspiracy theorist. Like, I love it. I delve in it. I'm the one that will sit there and go down the rabbit hole for about 30 minutes on my phone.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But I like to, go down the rabbit hole and then start fact checking.
Exactly.
People. I'm like, okay, let me see if this really happened. There's a lot of people just giving garbage.
Exactly. You gotta. That's like discernment. You gotta be able to use your discernment. You gotta be able to tell if it's AI or if it's actually real.
Yeah, or if it's just false information.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I'm talking about people just giving out things. Like, some people, they think they're real. Like you said, they think they're so deep, but in all reality, they're not. They're not even breaking the surface.
So, what's next for you
As far as music,
in life? I know where the music is going, but just life in general.
well, life in general.
Kickboxing, you got like a lot of things you
Yeah,
want to do.
well, that's more so. That's just I feel like that motion of kickboxing and working out will help me with any like sometimes working out helps with the pain level that I have. Ironically enough, the motion and like maybe I just don't notice, or maybe the motion actually helps with the pain.
I think it's something about us emotion.
I'm not sure, but I'm like that definitely helps me. So it's more so like I still feel like I'm in training. Basically, my life is training. I'm training for my sole purpose. So I do a lot of working out, a lot of meditation. I'm always writing, painting, doing something. But going forward, I just want to continue to elevate my own frequency, and I want to kind of create with my music, I want to create a community or fan base. Basically anybody who knows about me and supports me, we all kind of like come together and we can make that like community for each other. Like, say I make a post and, somebody's in the comments is going through something. Well, I want my fans and my supporters to say something to this person. Say this person's over here talking about what they're going through. Okay, well, be there for that person. I don't want people to be involved with me and what I stand for and then want to watch others suffer, because that's not something that I tolerate. My whole point is I went through it already, so why does everybody else? That's why I want to give the enlightenment, the information, the healing, so you guys don't have to go through the same things I've done. What's the point of that? So going forward, I just want to continue to enlighten people, help people heal, align with, their highest frequency instead of being low vibrational beings all the time. And I will use my music or any platform like this where I can speak to do so. So that's going forward what I want to do.
Nice. So what's like a message you feel like either we haven't touched on or you just always wanted to give to people?
Stay true to yourself and love yourself. And as long as you do that, you can never go wrong.
That's solid. I ain't gonna lie, that's solid.
I mean, that'll lead your life. That's pretty much one of my mantras in life. As long as I wake up every day, I give grace, I give love, I give light and positivity. I know that the universe and God will align everything else with me, and I don't have anything to worry about. I'm protected.
That's real.
I think that pretty much covers it. Like, everybody else probably sit here and give you a whole bunch of other, hoopla, but that's pretty much real and straight to the point, and that pretty much covers every topic, so I don't talk in circles.
Hey, that's solid. I like that. I like that. So I want you to let them know where people can find you.
You can find me on all social media at JAHHTHAPOET 777. That's for social media. My name in general is Jah the Poet. Just dropped the 777. But y'all check in, stay tuned for any updates. I got 2 shows coming up. I got an album dropping, and my new song Tony Hawk is out now. Y'all have a blessed day.
Boom. That's Jah the Poet. Peace out. Another day of walking Atlanta.